I'll just share a little bit of my journey, how I carved my path of learning. It's a bit different from most of your lives, and therefore maybe it is of interest, although very different. So I was born in a very remote part of a very remote region, the region being Ladakh, which stays cut off from the rest of the world for 6 months of the year. You can imagine. Around now, the roads will all be blocked with snow and people will be cut off for the next 6 months. And only in spring, April, May, will we have access to the rest of the world, surface transport-wise. In this faraway region, a very tiny village where I was born, and it was a village of just 5 households. You can imagine, 5 households. But today I like to joke and brag and say that it's no longer that small. It has grown 100%. To become a village of 10 households. Still a little smaller than your cities, but 100% bigger. Now, being such a tiny village, I had no schools. Till 9 years of age, I didn't see any schools or any teachers. Now, some of you may think, wow, how unfortunate. But growing up, I learned that it is actually better to have no schools than to have bad schools. So I didn't miss anything, I don't regret anything, because children are wired to learn. Let me remind because everyone is and everyone should know, we are actually wired to learn. By evolution, we are wired to learn. It doesn't take a school, it's in us. Let that inner power be unleashed. And that inner software that makes every child learn, school or no school, teacher or no teacher, you will learn. And that software, in today's lingo, software I call it, is called curiosity. Curiosity is that gift of nature which is packed with every baby. In other words, a software that is preloaded to the hardware as it comes in the world. Every baby is full of that curiosity, and as long as you have that curiosity, no one can stop you from learning. You will drive your own learning, you will find answers from books, from people, from whatever it takes, wherever it takes. Unfortunately, today, in the name of schooling and education, many of our parents, many of our schools and teachers break that very curiosity. In other words, you delete the software and then complain rest of the life, my child doesn't learn, my child doesn't progress or improve. Well, you have just deleted that software. So, this is what I will say, that we must let our curiosity thrive. If your curiosity thrives, then you will learn like an 18-year-old at the age of 18. But if curiosity is killed or the software is deleted, you will be like an 80-year-old at the age of 18. So from my life, what helped me learn was this gift of nature. I had no schools, no teachers, but I learned from the farmers on the fields, from the sheep and baby goats and apricot trees, climbing them jumping into the Indus and sliding and skating on the frozen rivers. You will learn. I would tease later in life when I was in engineering college, my friends who were, who had gone to the best of schools, I would tell them and tease that when you all were learning about roots and shoots from the pages, often faded pages of textbooks, I was on the farm sending a seed in the soil, seeing the roots go down and shoots come up and leaves unfurl without having to bother about L-E-A-F, leaf, L-E-A-V-E-S, leaves. All that mumbo jumbo that becomes a hindrance in our grasp of concepts, was not there for me. I could directly connect to nature and the environment and the environmental science, if you like. And I was lucky also that my mother taught me in my mother tongue. Very few have that luxury today in our country. We are forced and bombarded with languages, alien languages from the age of 3 or 4, while sort of dropping our own mother tongues. Whereas mother tongue is like the foundation. If you have your mother tongue strong, you can always acquire languages. Acquiring languages truly doesn't take long. I didn't learn any language till 9 years of age, no schools, except my mother tongue. But when the time came, I learned some 10 languages. 6 months it takes to learn a new language, as long as you have a good, strong foundation and your confidence and curiosity alive. I learned English from tourists who come into my village. Learned German, learned French, digging out every bit from them. And I would look at them as walking atlases that would tell me about France and its history and Germany and its geography and so on. You don't really need libraries and professors and textbooks if you have your curiosity alive. So I urge you today to, if not anything else, at least not let your curiosity die. Be like a child, childlike curiosity to find out about everything. It may look useless to your friends. I'm ridiculed very often for asking about things that people think is irrelevant. But then there comes a point when I'm solving a problem and that question, silly question that I asked, somebody gives me a new way to look at or to explore. So nothing goes waste. And in any case, our minds are much more capable than we think. We can hold a lot of knowledge. We can learn a lot of languages. We talked about, North Indians not learning South Indian languages, South Indians not learning Hindi. But really, we are gifted to learn all the languages and be happily communicating with everyone. So keep your curiosity alive. If you want to be problem solvers, if you want to be leaders. But what I also learned as I grew was that curiosity alone is not a solution for the world. Your personal curiosity may be just personal entertainment, like a monkey curiosity, ask questions and just entertain yourself. I learned that there is another pillar of problem solving, of becoming a problem solver, and that is empathy. Without that, you're a monkey asking and wondering about everything. But if you have empathy for other people and their problems and pains of others, if you can feel and you want to solve them, then you are closer to become a problem solver. And that's why even businessmen, entrepreneurs and startups whose solutions are rooted in true empathy for solving a real problem of the people, these solutions go far, go wide, go very long. Solutions that make people's lives easy, truly. Such businesses even go for generations. But unfortunately, there are also startups that sometimes even create the problems that they go to solve. And in the process, they create more problems than the solutions that they provide. So have the empathy to genuinely solve problems of people, of living beings. And those solutions, whether it's a social entrepreneurship or a business entrepreneurship, will go much farther. Just today, before landing here, I was in Ladakh, where we are building solar heated shelters for the Indian Army. And the chief engineer there impressed me very much, the new chief engineer, who we were discussing about where to have the shower and where to have the lobby and so on, was saying, I always think of where it should be as if it's my mother or my wife who will use it. That's empathy. You are not treating your soldier or your client as just a figure. You're treating that person as your own, your family. What would your wife say if the shower was only this tall or that tall, or the faucet was here or there? That kind of empathy, as if every product that you make is going to be used by your mother, your grandmother, and the problems that they face, you would feel the pain of. That empathy is very important in business as much as in charity, and not just limited to charity. So have this another gift of nature. We are all full of empathy by nature, but then we get into society where this becomes not as important. Unfortunately, schools neither do much to enhance our curiosity nor empathy. On the contrary, it's all about competition and marks and ranks, which actually is opposite of feeling for everybody. Collective success, all are not as much valued in our system. But in the world, in life, it is people who go together that succeed much more. Individual success alone doesn't take you very far, or doesn't take the nation very far. Like someone very wise said, if you are in a hurry, if you want to go fast, then go alone. If you want to go far, then go together. So that empathy of going together, solving these problems, is something we need to acquire. We need to unschool a little bit and reschool ourselves in these qualities. Now the third pillar, apart from curiosity and empathy, is again very important, because if it is only empathy, then it is like a prayer. May all beings be happy, may all problems be solved, and problems don't solve themselves. So the third quality that I learned from my life, I'm just sharing some life lessons. It's not from any textbooks, but just something that I thought I'd share with my younger brothers and sisters. The third thing that helped me a lot, despite starting school at 9 years of age, coming from this very remote place and all that, which helped me catch up and do as good as others, was a spirit of initiative. This is again something often lacking in people who come out of schools where you are regimented, instructed all the time, do this, do that, and families where parents overparent, and everything is ready-made, everything is done for you, even your shoelaces are done by your parents. That is quite destructive for a child in becoming self-driven. And that third pillar is the spirit of initiative. Spirit of initiative to go take action, to not sit hand on hand waiting for somebody to take action, but rather you being the one to initiate action. To take action even when your teachers are not watching. And in your job, even if your bosses are not watching, no people are watching, yet doing what you want to do, taking that initiative. That then takes you to another level of becoming a problem solver, becoming a leader. Because when you have a spirit of initiative, then starts the chakra of success. is what I have observed. If somebody asks me one thing that helped me achieve what I wanted, it was the spirit of initiative. Not waiting for somebody else, but feeling the responsibility oneself. Now what happens is, people who have spirit of initiative do not wait for somebody else to instruct them. They just go and do it. Whatever it is, it can be a broken door handle in your home. You just fix it. If you have that spirit of initiative, you would fix it. If there is a bucket fallen on the door, you think that somebody may topple on it and get hurt. Empathy. You don't just sit with that feeling, oh, I wish the bucket was removed. You go and remove it. And in the process, you learn. You learn how to fix the door handle. You learn how to, solve the problems that may cause harm to people. Now, when you have this spirit of initiative, look at how people then become successful. People ask me, how do you become successful? How do you gain confidence? I don't have confidence in me. Well, I say you don't have any magical thing that you one fine morning wake up and become confident or successful. It's a process, and the process I've seen starts with this spirit of initiative. People who take action always gain experience. Reaction may lead to success or failure. Actually, failure even better, because failure makes us think much more of many ways of doing it. Success sometimes doesn't illuminate all the other ways that may go wrong, and in another level it may go wrong. But if you fail, you learn what doesn't work and then find what works. So those who have this spirit of initiative take action. And action may lead to success or failure. Success is good, but failure stimulates our brain and makes us even more creative. Neuroplasticity today says that our brains are a use it or lose it property. Use it or lose it. If you don't apply it much, slowly it loses its power. And use and stimulation comes more from challenges, problems, failures than from success. Success can lead you to complacence, even arrogance. But failure grounds you and makes you try again and again. And now, with failures and some success, whatever it is, action leads you to experience. Anybody who keeps taking action, you will see, has a lot of experience. And somebody who has experience will always be very confident. The next logical step is that person with lot of experience will be confident, because that person has seen what works, what doesn't work. All that gives this sense of confidence. And once you have confidence based on experience out of taking action, then success is a byproduct. You don't really have to design for success. You just go through this loop and success is a byproduct. And then, as they say, nothing succeeds like success. Success breeds success. Success makes you want to take even more action. And actions lead you to experience, experience leads you to confidence, and confidence again gives the byproduct of success. So that I have seen, my friends, as a way of, spiraling higher and higher in life. But it must start with spirit of initiative. That you take action, that you make your own experiments and gain your own experiences and confidence and then success. So I will share this part with you all from my own life, that taking action, even if you meet failures. One of the problems I have seen with the toppers, often are disadvantaged, I have seen. Because toppers are often, not always, but often, afraid of failure. They have a lot of, things to protect, and therefore they would often take risk-free options, and that doesn't give you experience nor confidence. And often I've seen toppers, when they meet failures, are not able to handle failure. So it's always good to meet many small failures than a big failure and then be derailed from your rules. So therefore, keep taking actions, keep experimenting, stay curious, keep trying different things, and keep solving problems out of empathy for making life better for others. And yes, pursue excellence. Pursue excellence in life. Do everything as best as you can, whether somebody is watching or not. And compete, but compete more with yourself. Compete more with your own version of yesterday than with your peers or colleagues. That breeds negativity. But if you compete with your own self of yesterday, that always leads you to progress higher and higher and higher. So these are some of the life lessons that I thought I would like to share with you, and I truly hope that many of you will rise to become great problem solvers. You may become or may not become big businessmen. Doesn't matter, because it's not just income. In life it is impact, much more important than income. The impact you have on other people's lives. And that is what I look forward from the youth of our country, and I congratulate Aakash and all of you for having opened the doors. The journey remains, and I hope it is a fulfilling journey that changes lives of people, and not just your own progress and promotions, but makes the nation proud of having young people like yourself. Thank you very much.